This is the 2016 film Train to Busan, which Tanner will describe for us.
That's right. Train to Busan is the very first Korean zombie film, and it's all about this divorced dad and his young daughter. They're going on a train ride to go meet the mother of the child. And while they're on the train, there is a zombie outbreak, and things get kind of crazy. And pretty much everyone except the girl and some pregnant lady they meet dies, and they make it to safety. The end. And now my haiku, as inspired by Train to Busan. Divorced dad and kid take a nice little train ride. Everybody dies. What'd you guys think of Train to Busan?
So, like, this is the best zombie movie we've ever watched thus far, right?
Dude, thankfully there isn't, like, any competition because all of the ones we've seen so far are pretty fucking mid.
I mean, I thought Zombieland was pretty funny.
I think this movie's pretty fucking mid overall. I think this movie is way overhyped, I'm being completely honest. It definitely has some good qualities to it. I think the acting's alright overall. I definitely like the way they portray the zombies, too. I think the actors do a good job of just making them seem really grotesque and creepy and shit. But it also is just a lot of generic zombie movie schlock. There's some just stupid movie bullshit. I don't like the fucking dickhead surviving for so long. Lots of just random things that add up to make it just kind of a mid-zombie movie for me.
Dude, that guy's body count had to have been so high by the end of the movie. That dude killed so many people. What were you saying, Tanner?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I am surprised that... I'm surprised they lean into so many of the tropes from American zombie movies. And, like, I on one hand, I kind of get it, where they see this thing and they're like, okay, let's do our version of it, but I guess pay homage to those. But, like, I'm like, you guys have a fresh slate in front of you. Let's not do, like, the dumb parts of zombie movies that no one likes, you know? Mostly, like, really stupid deaths or people getting bitten in really silly, like, just stupid ways.
Yeah,
you know?
This movie was hyped up a shitload, and so I was expecting something really solid. I was, this entire time going into it, I was like, this fucking Jackson guy is big-nosed freak over here. He doesn't know what he's talking about, saying that this movie's mid. He's probably just being a hater as usual. But yeah, this is just kind of a fucking... It's a fine movie, I guess. Like, I do agree, I think it's the best zombie movie we've seen so far, but, like, it's not the highest bar to clear, I don't think.
Well, and I also feel like, what all can you actually do with zombie movies? Like, I feel like you don't have a lot of room for creativity.
I feel like there's, like, endless room for
That's a terrible argument.
I mean, I'm also not, like, saying definitely, though, either. I was hoping to spark something with that so you guys could tell me otherwise. That was the purpose of me saying that.
I think if the writers go into a zombie movie and they're like, dude, there's so little I could do with this, then don't make that movie. Like, I think that's kind of a self-defeating argument just by having created the thing, you know? In fact, kind of the opposite direction, I think this film actually does a very good job with having a very small in scope story, where it is, like, limited pretty much exclusively to the train, other than that one excursion to the train station.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it's a pretty self-contained story with not many like varied locations or whatever, but they do that in a very smart and engaging way. And while our characters are very tropey, I'm fine with that in the zombie genre. I think it makes sense in the zombie genre, and ultimately I do like our characters. Especially the husband guy. He's the best character in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, I thought the macho guy was pretty cool. I liked him a lot.
That's who I'm talking about, dumbass.
You said the main guy.
You said the husband.
Said, yeah.
Whatever.
Our main guy is divorced, like...
Listen,
yeah, personally, I think he's, like, the only actual likable character in this film. That's also one of my big critiques, is I just don't give a shit about any of these characters. The main guy is kind of a self-fulfilling asshole. The fucking kid is annoying and a child. The wife is a woman. You know, there really aren't a lot of characters to latch onto here, man. They're all just... and most of them don't really get any sort of development at all. I think they're trying to have it be, like, some sort of redemption thing of, like, about the blood-sucking father, you know, or something, sacrifices himself to save people or something, and that's supposed to be some symbolism and shit. But it didn't really, like, work on me. I think the characters fall pretty flat, and that's like a big thing that holds a movie up like that for me.
Jackson, I feel like you're focusing way too much on the characters here. Have you considered that just by them being human, you want to root for them to, like, survive in the end?
No.
The thing to me that falls kind of flat with the main guy's character arc is that he is someone who gets bit in just a really stupid way.
Yeah.
Like, he literally just fucking shoves his hand into the zombie's mouth.
Yeah.
Which is just, like, it definitely downplays how seriously I'm taking his sacrifice. And also, like, it would not be difficult for them to have filmed that scene in a way where he gets bit. I'm like, oh, okay, I can accept that is a mistake that would happen.
Yeah, like one of the zombies is able to, like, push through the door a little bit more and, like, get at him or something like that. And then they have to, like, push it back again and be like, oh no, you got bit. Oh no, this is terrible. I'm so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
something.
I mean,
But, hey, I haven't finished making my point.
Sorry, Tanner, sorry.
But him getting bit, basically by choice, just completely wrecks the sacrifice, where I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, good on you for defeating him to save your daughter and whatever, but, like, you're also a fucking dumbass, so I guess kill yourself.
Yeah, I've actually put a little bit more thought. I don't know why, this movie made me think a lot.
It's because it wasn't in English.
Sure, I meant, like, after the movie was over, Tanner, but, no, I mean, I kind of disagree with the main guy not having, I feel like he had a pretty, like, resolved character arc where he was kind of forced into situations where he had to change, and he realized that in order for everybody to get through this and for people to live, he had to, not be, selfish. But I do agree in the fact that there was a lot of, like, plot progression deaths, and I mean that in the fact of, like when the big husband guy got bit, it was kind of weird. Like, there was a zombie, like, laying on the floor, and then he puts his hand in, like, the dumb spot on the door, and it, like, raises up off the floor when, like, I imagine it's probably being trampled by all the zombies, and bites him. And then same thing with the ending where it's, like, that businessman who's turning into a zombie. Like, if the main guy saw that he was bit and infected, he should have just taken advantage of, like, him not being a zombie and fighting back and just thrown him off the train immediately. I don't know why he just waited till he was fully a zombie to do anything about it. And I also thought, like, when he let the zombie bite him, I thought he was just gonna throw both of them off the train, and I felt like that would have made more sense, but no, he chained himself to the train after he got bit, and I'm like, dude, you already know you're done, why are you saving yourself? But, you know.
To say goodbye to the girl and also explain to woman how to use the fucking brake,
Yeah. I honestly, when this movie was about to end, I thought, because, like, this movie just gave you the middle finger to, like, a bunch, like, oh, you want this person to live? Like, no, fuck you. This, like, everybody's dying. I don't care what you think. That's what a lot of this movie was. And that's what I thought the ending was going to be. I thought the mom and the fucking kid were going to get capped. I was actually emotionally distraught. And I was like, don't you fucking do it. And then, like, of course, the girl singing at the end, like, saves it because she'd been practicing that song for her dad. The other thing that I think that, like, resolved the main guy's character arc is he technically kept the promises he made throughout the movie. So I thought that was also pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I do agree with Dylan overall, the, like, the main character's, like, fucking arc. I felt like that was fairly satisfying. The big problem for me, though, was that by the time we got there, I was just completely disinterested in the film. Like, I don't know what it was, but once we got to, like, that final, like, big train yard area, I was just completely checked out, and I did not care about what was happening in the movie at all at that point.
Skill issue.
Props to the conductor, man, for being the goat of this movie, risking life and limb to perform his service, who ended up dying.
I think it would have been funny if they fucking shot them at the end there. But mostly, I think that I assume the reason that they kind of hint, like, not implied that the reason they had that set up where, like, oh, maybe they'll get shot is I'm assuming that's a reference to Night of the Living Dead, the first American zombie movie where the main character gets shot at the end.
Oh, okay.
I assume that's what they were going for. Maybe it was just complete coincidence.
No clue. But I guess the only other, like, issue I guess I would have with this movie was a CGI issue. I'm not sure if you guys had a problem with it, but there were, like, a few parts of this movie, like, it was once on the train and then another time in, like, the train yard at the end, where like for some reason the zombies went like World War Z and just had like this wave of zombies like crash and they like turned it CGI for like a brief moment. It kind of stuck out a little bit, but I don't think it was bad enough to like, flag this movie for it, but that's just me.
Yeah, and I thought that shit looked fine throughout pretty much the entire film. Especially just, like, the actual practical effects and shit like that for the zombies themselves. And the way that these actors would, like, fucking contort themselves as zombies looked fucking awesome. I was a big fan of that.
Yeah. I thought some of the flame effects on a couple of spots were like, man, that's a really bad-looking fake fire, But other than that, I don't think the visuals are bad, really, in this movie.
Yeah, I feel like the only other, like, big gripe I have with this film is just how, like, it actually got the ball rolling with, like, that fucking lady just, like, running onto the train. Somehow she was not seen whatsoever in this fucking empty area where she's the only person running and somehow manages to get right past the door guy.
Right.
Also, what is the deer at the beginning? I get that the deer was, like, an homage or, like, whatever to what's about to happen. Is it just, like, this movie trying to say this affects all living creatures? Like, I'm guessing...
I think it's literally just to call out that this is a zombie movie.
Yeah.
Be like, what happened to that deer? And then you see it happening, like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I was just trying to, like, imagine, like, plot-wise, how did this jump to humans, but whatever. Also, they said something at the end, was like, oh, is this our fault? Because I'm guessing they sold something at the beginning of the movie, and, like, that caused the bio company or whatever to blow up or something stupid, but...
Personally, I prefer when those things are left a little more ambiguous, but something I don't want to be ambiguous here is our rankings. So, Tanner, why don't you kick them off here for us?
I still really like this movie. It definitely loses its luster a bit more with each watch, but overall, I still think it's a really solid entry into the zombie genre. I'm gonna go A-.
Wow! Dylan, how about you?
Yeah, I'm higher than that on this movie. I thought it was a fairly good movie. I thought you guys would have enjoyed this movie a little more, to be honest. Sad to hear that I'm the only one. Yeah,
you're still giving A-.
I mean, I know, I just didn't think I'd be that much higher than Tanner. I'm giving it an S-.
Wow. I'm giving it a B. How about you, Jackson?
I also gave it a B.
Wow.
Okay, well, that's not that bad. Never mind.
And that lands it at an A- overall.
Tanner finally check marks.
Ooh.